Hey everybody, how you doing today? I just wanted to check in. I got a little product review that I wanted to do, and I wanted to point out a couple of little things real quick. As you see, I'm working on chassis today. Got one on the jig behind me. Um, Air, something you don't think a lot about. People ask me what's my number one tool that I have, and I have to say that my number one tool in this shop is air. Because of powder coating, because of sandblasting, because of what I do, air is my number one tool that I use the most. Uh, and one of my big pet peeves is that I hate air leaks. I've chased an air leak down for 6 days trying to find it. Just because if I hear an air leak, it drives me crazy. And the reason it does that is because I know with the amount of air that I use, with the amount of time that my compressors are running, anytime my compressor is down or broken or off, that I'm losing money. I'm out of business really with a lot of stuff that I do, especially with all the powder coating and sandblasting. And then I use it on various air tools and things like that. So air is a very, very important in my business, and a lot of people don't think about that. But I do all the time. So whenever I hear air leak, I've got to chase it down. One of the things that I've noticed over the last since '81, when I first started, well, since '79 when I first started working on cars, is a long time ago. These little air fittings that you could buy. You buy them from for me, I would buy them at the Napa Parts House. Uh, and they lasted a really long time. Now I've seen air fittings at Big Lots. I've seen air fittings at Harbor Freight. All of the big box companies all have air connectors and air fittings. Uh, and they're moderately priced. I'm not going to say they're cheap. I'm not going to say they're super expensive, but they're moderately priced. But the one key factor now, I've got this air fitting here in a box of fittings that no longer hold air; they leak. In that box, there, I may put a picture of the box back in here once I get this all done and doing some editing on it. Probably got 30 of these that the reason I don't use them anymore is because they just leak. You try to change the bodies, it doesn't matter. If this is leaking, I'm hearing the air and it's causing my compressors to work harder than they have to. And like I said, if a compressor goes down, I'm out of business. So I look at air as my primary tool that I have that I work with the most. Uh, so I've come across and I've been doing some work with a company called Kimball Midwest. Really good company. There's their web address. You can check them out. You can go on, set yourself up a account online. You can check to see if they've got a dealer or a rep that will stop by your shop uh, weekly, every couple of weeks, just like the tool guy. And speaking of the tool guy, I bought these fittings off of some of the tool trucks as well over the years, and they don't last any longer than the fittings that I buy at Big Lots or any of the other places. Not saying that those are bad fittings; they work fine for a little while, but they just don't hold up under the constant in and out plug-in that I do of things, taking them apart and the amount I use them, and the movement of hoses and things like that. So I reached out to Steve Tromka. He is the my Kimball Midwest sales guy. If I say Kimberly, I got to tell you, there's another company called Kimberly Clark that I used to do business with years ago when I was selling chemicals, and great company. But I get them, my brain just kind of lets it run together. So Kimball Midwest is the company that I'm talking about. In case I slip up, and old age is catching up on me. Kimball Midwest is the company that we're talking about. So I called my rep and I told him, I said, look, man, I said, I was looking on y'all's website. I said, y'all have some couplers on there, some air couplers that I really want to try. I said, could you send me some? So he sent me the air coupler that I ordered. He sent me this. This is what I wanted, just a regular quarter-inch MPT air fitting every day. And then he also sent me something I hadn't heard of. Now you may have heard of it before, but I just get set in my little world out here, so I turn things off and don't look in light. If it's working, I don't fix it. But he also sent me this really cool push button connector. I've never seen these before, as I'm sure a lot of you have. I haven't, but it's just a push button connector that your fitting goes into. It holds, and then when you release it, it's got a button that you put, it ejects it out. Really cool. I haven't tried this one yet. I haven't hooked this up, and I will get back and do a follow up after I get all these product reviews done. But I thought this was really cool, and I've got a couple of places that I want to. I've got specific ideas where I want to use this one, so we're going to see how this works. But today, I basically want to talk about the regular air body, or excuse me, the air coupler, the quick coupler, and the connectors. Now, one of the things I saw right off the bat, sometimes you see it, sometimes you don't, but Kimball Midwest has the Teflon tape already around on here. I thought that was pretty cool because my big hands, me and that little 3/8 wide Teflon tape don't always see eye to eye on things. And I really don't like Teflon tape. I use pipe dope a lot more. But the way this is on there, it's not... I like it. I've already hooked a set of these up. I've hooked this was a 2-pack. In fact, let me get the information up here on this. I'll get this scrolling across the bottom. Let me see if that scrolls. Okay, there's the part numbers of what I've got. The push button connector is a Kimball Midwest part number 52785. That's a high flow push button coupler, 1/4-inch MPT threads. That was the pretty little blue thing that I showed you. I'm looking at the way this is made on the inside. It's got multiple. It's got 4 ball bearings inside of it. Some of the other, and I think that's part of what does the sealing is the amount of bearings that are in these little things. This one has 3 in it. So I guess that could also be something that causes it to fail. 4 holds it a little bit better in center. It keeps it good, keeps it nice and firm, and hopefully you will see how this gauge does. Now, I will tell you the difference. Let me pop this out of there. The difference of the weight of these two is... there's a big difference I can feel in the weight of these two. The Kimball Midwest connector seems to be a lot heavier. They both have a little rattle in them. It's just the connect the seat inside. But it's a 4 bearing as well. It's constructed really well. It turns really well. It looks like a really good coupler. Now, I've put one of these on one of the machines, on one of my powder coating machines in the back, into the air supply block that goes to the powder coating and the air system in the back. And that's one of the things that's always leaking. So I just put this in, hooked air back up to it, not a drop. Perfect. I did have one little air leak, but it wasn't on any of the valves. It was on the connector that was on the hose. Now, if you hear that noise, I'm sorry, my compressor, my Coke machine just kicked on. But this is really good. I've got the part numbers up there. For the part number for the push button is the 52785. I don't remember what the prices on these things were, and all I got in the invoice or in the box today when they came. I ordered these yesterday. I talked to the guy about 11 o'clock yesterday morning, and they were here. It's 12, so they were here within 24 hours. So I thought that was pretty impressive as well. And then the bodies came in a 5-pack. The part number on those is 521 275. Like I said, that's a 5-pack. It already has the Teflon on it. The 2-pack of the couplers is 52898. 52898. It's a 2-pack. And like I said, this company, I've used a couple of their other products that I've been impressed with. Some of them have done. One of them has done what I wanted it to do on one thing, but didn't do it on another thing, and that's just another review that I'll talk about. And what product I was using it on, it really wasn't designed for that. But on the other product that I used it on, it was really designed well for that. But this is just something I wanted to tell you. We'll go back on here and we'll talk. I'll talk more back and do a follow up on this. But I got to tell you, so far from what I'm seeing, I don't hear any air in the bag, so I don't hear any air leaks that I got to chase down. I'm going to change out one of the other bodies on my air nozzle that was leaking back there and see if that's the problem. If it's not, I've got another one of these couplers that I'll put on there. But I just wanted to check out Kimball Midwest. It's a really good company. Everything they've got is made in America. That's another thing I really like about the company, because I have learned over the years, and I'm sure a lot of you know, that the stuff that, I'm not going to say 100% of the stuff that comes out of China, but I'll go a strong 90% of the stuff that comes out of China just doesn't hold up to the kind of use and the kind of work that I do. For somebody who's just puttering on weekends or every couple of weeks around the house, they may work up fine. But for the day-to-day stresses and things that I put on them, it does not work. But check out Kimball Midwest. You can find a sales rep in your area. I'm pretty sure if you just go to kimballmidwest.com, I think it'll help you locate a sales rep. And when they come, the catalog is like this thick, big. So they got everything. If you do any machine work, they have like end mills. They got a huge supply of everything. If you need storage for bolts and nuts and electrical connectors and wiring and stuff like that, Kimball Midwest carries it. So if you've got a few minutes when you're eating lunch or calming down after the day's work, jump online, check out kimballmidwest.com. You can go on there and set yourself up an account. They've got some really good specials. They've got some really good account setup bonuses. So check that out. I think when I set my account up, they had me. I think I had like $1,000 credit on it or something. But check it out. It's a really good company. They focus on made in America, which I am. Everybody who knows me knows I'm a big made in America guy. So check these parts out. Like I said, for me, a day without air is a day me not being in business. So if I can use these parts and they work for me and they hold up to the pressures that I put them to, and like I said, I'll do another video on this to talk about these things after I use them for a little while. But there's the part numbers. There's the website. Check them out. Kimball Midwest. Find a sales rep in your area. Set yourself up an online account, whatever you want to do. I just am digging the stuff that I've got from Kimball so far, Kimball Midwest so far. So check them out. I appreciate your time and give me a feedback. Let me know what you think about these. Let me know if you have the same problems that I have with air fittings. I mean, there was a brand when I was growing up that was really, really good. That was pretty much everything anybody used. And I don't know if there was a lot of other companies that made it other than that particular company, which I won't mention. But Kimball Midwest is, I asked them to send me their logos so I could use them on a promo. And the company's been in business from 1923 to 2023. So that's 100 years in business. For a company to be able to stay in business for 100 years, that means they're doing something right. So I want to thank you for your time. Like, share, subscribe, do all that kind of stuff that you can do on this. But yeah, this is going to be a drop in probably in our Whiskey Cars and Cigars show on Thursday nights at 7:00 on the Edge Radio US, as well as streaming live on StreamYard, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, everything. But check it out. Let me know what you think. Give me some feedback. And I hope this is something that'll work for you. Like I said, Kimball Midwest has been working really well for me so far. So we'll see. Let me know what you think. Have a great day, and thank you for watching.